I'm Sebastian from TechCentury, your source for independent and reliable tech videos. Welcome to my full review of the Huawei Honor 8. If you like this video, please make sure to subscribe, rate and leave your comment below. In terms of price, the Honor 8 is currently available from Amazon.com for $399 and I'll leave a link in the description below, but this price point is more competitive than ever with tough competition like the OnePlus 3 and the Exon 7 by ZTE. In terms of specs, the Honor 8 offers a Kirin 950 processor with the Mali T880 GPU, a 5.2-inch Full HD IPS display, dual 12-megapixel Sony cameras on the rear with f2.2, 32GB of built-in storage as well as 4GB of RAM, as well as a microsd card slot for storage expansion and a 3000 mAh battery. Now, in some countries we also find a hybrid slot here on this smartphone, so you can either use dual SIM cards or one SIM card and one SD card. In terms of design, you can overall say that the Honor 8 feels and looks very premium. There's no plastic to be found on the entire device and it's mainly dominated by glass and metal, and there are very unique aspects as well, like the integrated button in the fingerprint scanner on the back or the dual camera setup on the rear that doesn't feature any camera hump whatsoever. Now, the great materials, build and fine details like the multi-layered glass on the back and the 2.5D curved glass on front and back also result in a very nice and appealing feel in the hand, but unfortunately also in a very slippery phone that you're likely to drop if you don't use a case, so that's a big shame. Moving on to the performance. While Qualcomm Snapdragon processors dominate the smartphone industry like the Snapdragon 820, the Kirin 950 processor in combination with the Mali T880 GPU and the 4GB of RAM result in an amazing performance here on this smartphone, and in some cases the GPU here on the Honor 8 even outperforms what we find in the Snapdragon 820. Now, no matter whether you're playing intensive 3D games like Colin McRae Rally or you're doing really heavy multitasking, the Honor 8 handles everything incredibly well and always feels snappy. Now, the biggest downfall for a lot of people might be the display, because it only features a Full HD resolution while other smartphones already have a QHD display. But to be honest, for me it wasn't an issue whatsoever, because the 5.2-inch diagonal is not too big and the resolution is perfectly fine for this size of a display, and in combination with good viewing angles and a very nice color reproduction, I was very satisfied with the panel overall. Now, one downfall is though that the minimum brightness is still pretty high, so that you get blinded at night, but fortunately there are other third-party apps in the Play Store that can solve these issues. So while the display is really a non-issue for me, the software certainly is one. Now, on one hand, Huawei does a good job with Android updates, so we currently have Android 6.0 here on the Honor 8, but the Huawei skin is just absolutely horrible. It looks horrific, it slows down the performance, and at least to me there's a complete lack of real benefit. It doesn't add any features that I want or need. So I immediately installed the Google Now launcher, or currently the Nova launcher, and it's a much better experience in my opinion, but I really wished that the phone was much closer to stock Android, and this is a downfall for me that I can't really ignore on any Huawei device. Talking about things that aren't so great, unfortunately the speaker is also one of them. There's only a mono speaker on the bottom of the device and it isn't really that loud and it is pretty tinny, so even a downgrade from the Honor 7, so certainly an aspect that's not that great about the Honor 8. Moving on to the cameras then, the dual 12-megapixel sensors on the back produce good images with nice color reproduction and above average low light performance. Other features like refocusing after taking a picture are a nice addition as well, and the Honor 8 is the first smartphone where I didn't felt the need to use the HDR mode, because the two pictures that are combined by the dual cameras actually always produce kind of like an HDR image. That's pretty nice. That being said, if you're already coming from a good smartphone like the Honor 7, you won't be blown away by the results of the cameras here on the Honor 8, which is a shame. In terms of cameras, we'll find an 8-megapixel sensor here on the front, that delivers great selfies, but also pretty amazing video at full HD. So that's certainly an aspect where the Honor 8 stands out, and it's also quite similar to the performance of the Honor 7 in this aspect, but there is no front-facing flash anymore. Now, one aspect where the Honor 8 unfortunately disappoints, kind of like the Honor 7, is the full HD video quality when recorded on the rear-facing cameras. As you can see right here, this is the footage, and it's basically daylight outside, but still the footage just looks soft, and also the frame rate is not the best. So I have to say, still video recording in full HD unfortunately isn't a strong suit of the Honor series. Another amazing aspect of the Honor 8 is the fingerprint scanner on the back. That's incredibly reliable. No matter if you twist your finger, it always recognizes it, and I never had any issues and was logged in within a fraction of a second. Now, of course, I also quickly want to mention the battery life, but you always have to consider that battery life usually depends on your smartphone usage, and I consider myself to be a very, very heavy smartphone user, so I usually had to recharge the phone once during the day because the 3000 mAh battery isn't really that huge. Now, fortunately, there is a proprietary quick charging built into the Honor 8, and this worked very well, so recharging the phone was very quick. And this also leads us to my verdict. Now, the Honor 8 is a great smartphone without any doubt. It combines great design, build quality and cameras in a rather compact and very appealing package while still remaining under $400. Especially with the price dropping in the future, I think it will be a great choice as an unlocked phone. Now, whether the Honor 8 is the perfect smartphone for you or not, that's something that you have to determine personally, and you can of course ask any questions in the comments below and I'll be glad to answer them. For me personally, the Honor 8 just wasn't enough of an upgrade to keep it. I decided to send it back and stick with my Honor 7.